GM, we're live on our beautiful, well, I guess I can't say advancement Monday because there's still one game to be played, but we're live. What a crazy weekend it was. Chris said, had a day yesterday. Hope everyone in the Candleverse had a good time watching ball. Chris, it was a little bit of a mixed bag for me, but I am so glad that it worked out for you. Chris says, had 0 Trevor Lawrence, 0 Etienne, and 0 Kyle Pitts, but got 5 to advance in a possible 6 game. That is pretty good, considering no T-Law, no Etienne, and no Pitts. But for every Chris Burkle, there's a Crutches who had a bunch of T-Law and the opposite, and nothing matters. Yeah, it was pretty brutal. I didn't have any kind of like fade position on T-Law, but I think he was attached to too much BTJ and Travis Hunter. So I just wasn't advancing a lot of T-Law teams. I'll go through what I've got. And Chris says, guy with 199.7 lost his pod. Yeah, I mean, nothing matters. I think that's what we've learned. If I look at my BBM side of things, my team with 178.4 on BBM DV is only 62% to advance. And this is a team that, I wanted to advance, but feels a little dead because it's a neighbor's team. But everything else is generally in good shape, other than, of course, Penix. It still has Jalen Waddle to go. But in this particular pod, I am Moose, and I think Meadow of Hay, I think both of these guys have DK Metcalf. So I'm up less than a point on the guy below me. So it's really going to come down to Metcalf versus Waddle. So they have me at 62%. That feels, I would say I'm like 55%. I think, if you ask me who I think is going to score more points, I think it's Waddle, but I wouldn't be surprised. I think it's pretty much a coin flip. So unfortunate that this very high scoring team is in this death pod here. There's at least, this was a Kyle Pitts team. I think there's at least a couple other Pitts teams, but yeah, I might lose a team with, 180 in the 180s if Metcalf outscores Waddle, which is a little bit unfortunate. Noisy Carts GM, no T-Law, but have some that's your consolation. You may not have Trevor Lawrence, but you've got this stream. I don't know if I'd take that deal. Nothing says, oh, wait. I don't think Chris is doing that. Chris is having a good morning. AZ Mountain Man, good morning to you. Good morning. Hope you're having a good one. Just don't have an elite picks like Scatabo and Eckler and all your teams, and C-Rod getting ruled out for the nut run out easy game. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I had so much Scatabo. I mean, if Scatabo's playing, this whole adventure is going a lot differently. I mean, seeing Tyrone Tracy going off yesterday, I was just absolutely coping and seething over here. Down 0.5 with Waddle needing 8.1 tonight for a third team at the other 2 hold. That's not terrible. I mean, I definitely hope Waddle gets there. My team below here, that's 99%. This team still has Metcalf on it. So it's a little bit of a hedge. I should get one through. They have me listed at 99%. These projections, they always can get a little squirrely, but I looked through it. I think this team's pretty safe. But of course, you never truly know till it's over. So hopefully we should at least get one though. It'd be a weird needle to thread where Metcalf goes off and then this team doesn't survive. So should at least get one team. Last year I had 5 teams in the semis. None made it to the finals. Maybe this year we'll have 2 get through. DK Crutches. I'm advancing 2 out of 50 teams on DK. And honestly, one of them I think is going to die. I think I'm going to get 1 out of 50 through. And last year I had 12 Millie Maker teams in the semis. And this year I don't think I'm going to have any. It was a nightmare. But I was even more overweight on DK on Scatabo than here. I was near 50% on DraftKings. So brutal run out. Fantasy Monster. Hey, good morning to you. RVs, hashtag RVs are king. Absolutely. That's good to hear, Chris. Good to hear. Selfishly, I need Swaddle. First of all, very rude calling him Swaddle. I haven't heard that. That to not have a good game, so my 199.2 teams advance. Yeah, it's killer. It's killer. The 1 of 13 format, because the pod luck gets so magnified. I mean, I'm advancing this team with 150. And I might lose a team with 170. I've seen teams with near 200 not advancing. So I mean, the pod luck's the pod luck, but it is so killer when only one team gets out. Steven, GM, everyone. Hey, GM to you. Hope you're having a great morning there. Likewise, Joel Worth. I don't want to jump the gun here, but if I'm not mistaken, you won. Was it the fullback dive? I believe you won the fullback dive for 5K. So if I have that wrong and there was a stat correction, I deeply apologize. But I'm pretty sure I saw you take that down. So congrats. When we go over to the dailies, we'll check that team out. Unless I'm making that up. Steven says, I just don't like DK. I'm not playing them again. I'm not ready to take my ball and go home on DK, but man, I'm close. I am close. Week 16 is always rough in the best ball playoffs. Yeah. I mean, last year, week 16 was an utter bloodbath. The reason I advanced so much last year into week 16 was I was heavily overweight Daniels and McLaurin, and they had a monster week 15, and then week 16, they disappeared. And I think they were good week 17, but all my teams were dead. But yeah, it's week 16 is killer. It is super killer. Shady Advice looks to get 7 BBM through, which gives him about a third likelihood of getting 1 to the final if they're independent outcomes. Yeah, Shady Advice is having a big advanced season. So's Herzig. I think both those guys are advancing like 7 to 8 teams each or something. And of course, Razor 33, our fast puppy king, the pride of Rhode Island. My understanding, he's advancing. I think he's advancing 9 teams. I think is he Razor 33? Look at this animal. 8.3 expected. I mean, what a year. Big congrats to Razor 33. Best of luck to him. Greg, GM boys. Hey, GM to you, Greg. Our team's on prime time, so we get to make the rest of America suffer with us. So go Fins. Yes, you did. Okay, good. Hey, huge congrats, man. That's awesome. I looked at your lineup and it just like made a lot of sense. So well done. Yeah, congrats, Joel. That's awesome. Nice hit there. Week 16 is great. I just never get. Well, it sounds like you're going to get 2, maybe 3 teams, Crutches. So hopefully, we got to get Crutches to the final of BBM. We need that sweat. We need the sweat. Go Easy Cards, super high daily slates, never good for my EV. Go Easy Cards, kind of a low scoring type of guy, but that's okay. We all have our slates that we like. We all have the types of slates we like. I feel like some people are better at the short slates. I got absolutely massacred on DK this week, despite feeling like I had a good sense of the slate. I basically went Gibbs over the pass catchers in that game, and that was completely wrong. That was a bad read. So, it was tough. Yeah, Joel says thanks to Chris. Fins and A-Rod it should be fascinating. Yeah. Congrats, Joel from Go AZ Cards. Crutches says, sorry, I'm just more bearish on my BBMs with all the injuries. My DK ones were better. And 1 of 34 unless Jalen Warren does something. Oof. I don't know why DK felt so much harder this year. I don't know what it was. Last year, I had a lot of teams make week 16, and this year just everything died. And I don't know. I mean, I don't think I had any T-loss survive, and that was a big part of it. And I don't think I had a ton of pits, so I guess there you go. Pickens failed us. Would love to see the squad put up some points tonight. Yeah. The other irony in that game is for those of you who were around for big board season, I was Ty Felton pilled. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a thing, and then it turns out he sucks. Jalen Naylor 2 touchdowns last night. So if you had the last round Jalen Naylor shout, and you weren't taking people like Brown. Why am I blanking? We argued about him all summer. The now like 5th receiver on the Jags, Diami Brown. There we go. If you were taking Jalen Naylor, slightly more useful than Dynamic Brown. It doesn't help when your highest team by 23 teams. The podluck is simply not going your way, Crutches. Yeah, you hate to see it. Yeah, it is crazy how that little bit of variance just like completely swings these seasons. But yeah, that's all right. So let's see the overall portfolio. I have a few good things happening in the doldrums. We're going to get a Husky 2 team through. This Chow Chow team, I think winning any contest, winning like the Chow Chow has a high amount of bit equity. This team's actually pretty good. I feel like if Justin Herbert can wake up, I think it's going to sneak through some possibly lower owned stuff. I mean, Saquon, Chase Brown, kind of guys that are going to be nice to get through the next round. Saquon was fine, but I don't know if he's going to be a super high advance rate piece. Ladd was a dud. I don't know. Maybe it's too dead with only Kyle Pitts and Juwan Johnson, but not the worst team. If Woody Marks is healthy, this team might seem a little more robust. But we got a little Chow Chow team through, which is fun because that's a slightly higher dollar contest. We're going to be getting one bigger board team through, it looks like, which is nice, barring disaster. This team, yeah, big yikes. I mean, man, you look at these teams and you wonder what you were thinking here. We got, Garrett Wilson as wide receiver 1. Devontae Adams just got hurt. Yeah, this team is toast once it advances, but at least we'll get a little bit of a payout bump. I did not realize the wide receiver situation was as dire as it is here, but it's it is funny when you click into these teams. Yeah, the Adams hammy injury hurts. Yeah, that's going to affect a lot of teams, I feel like. That one's pretty bad. Crutches, on a positive note, I will say my Monster 555 team is advancing second place with 5 players tonight, despite being 1 of 5 being slated. Hey, that's pretty good. I had 3 555 teams, and they're all like in 5th or 6th place, and they're dead. So I had one Cowboys overstack with, I think I had like Lamb, Pickens, and Dak, and it's gonna die. I was kind of hopeful last night they'd make a run, and it didn't run out that way. Crutches will have T. Higgins. Yeah, T. Higgins should be back. Yeah, the one thing I will say is I was a little bit more bearish on the Bengals, just on a vibesy take. That Burrow interview wasn't great. Felt like there was a little bit of folding the tent in risk. So I'm hoping, now that they're officially eliminated, I still hope that T. Higgins plays. He seems like he's got, levels of dog. He does want to be out there. So I don't know. I hope T. Higgins is back and they don't just like shut him down because they're out. Check the portfolio thing. It's not just vibes. 7 to 8 of 150, 17.2 expected. Oof. Is that well, expected is good, right? Doesn't that mean you should after tonight? So let's see. I feel like, do you have a number? You have a number, and I can't remember what your number is on your 0 of 34 big board shout out. Yeah, I'm 1 of 16. Oh, baseline. Gotcha. Yeah, that is rough. That is rough. The Gale asks, any chance Tutu Atwell becomes relevant? Oh my gosh. I would say probably not, but you never know. It does seem like they have kind of a cavalcade of second wide receiver. I just don't know. I don't know if it's going to be Atwell or not. They have, isn't it not Brian Robinson? Who's their other guy? Jordan Whittington. I remember the Jordan Whittington Tutu Atwell wars of the off season. So we'll see. Atwell does feel like the guy who could just get there on low volume. Yeah, Crutches, Tutu Atwell's playoff best ball explosive guy. Yeah, there you go. Definitely more of a home run hitter. Just that the usage feels like it can be a little squirrely with him. Fantasy Football Garage, GM. Hey, hope you're having a great morning. We're just going over some portfolio stuff, a little commiserating, a little bit of optimism. Hopefully we get some teams through tonight. Need a few things to break our way, but the lobby is grim, folks. They don't even have, as of when I started, there are no daily games for this week, unless you want to do primetime paloozas, which to me was surprising. We don't even have a playbook. I don't know if they just expect people are just spending their time checking their best ball bags. So it's playoff best ball or nothing. So I think that's what I've got as far as portfolios. I didn't shout out Trey McBride, but what a performance. My goodness. He saved a lot of people from the Pitts nuke, I think. I think a lot of people feel like the good guys won with Trey McBride getting there and saving a lot of teams who otherwise might have been buried. But Trey McBride, very strong performance. I was taking him, but I know I was taking Kittle ahead of him in some of the daily games, which was obviously wrong. Kittle was fine. I'd say Kittle had a pretty good game, but nothing like what we saw from McBride, who at this point is just clearly matchup proof, especially with Brissett. I did want to look at, before I hop into something pretty close to a break-even slate, the victory formation, the single entry. I got 6th, but the grossest thing about this was I had Dalton Kincaid on this team and his 4.9 points. This team was Allen, Etienne, Henderson, Puka, Jamo, Kincaid. Good for 6th place in 300. Every team ahead of me had Trey McBride. Every single one. I won't click through them. You just have to take my word. So we had the highest non-Trey McBride team. Could you have made this lineup with McBride? It would have been difficult because, like, this team, we got Travion Henderson with the very last pick. I don't know if there would have been a way to maybe one of these guys falls, like maybe Jamo. No, he was picked 22. I don't think I could have gotten this exact team with McBride instead. That said, if I get McBride and then maybe instead of Travion, I get a running back that scores 15 points, I think that actually bumps us up quite a bit. So a little bit of a bummer. We were definitely live in the victory formation, but 6th place, we'll take a top 10 in a single entry. That's still pretty fun. Looking real quick, I did want to pull up the fullback dive. Friend of the show here, Mr. Worth, Josh Allen, Etienne, Henderson. So this same core as my team, but he adds Amon-Ra, Zay Flowers, and Trey McBride. So sick team here. Good for 1st place 5K. Big congrats again to Mr. Worth here. Steven says, I remember Razor33 on Pete's show, just looking at some of his teams. I remember he took a lot of 4 QB and tight end. On several, he took 5 running back or wide receiver. I have not seen many people take only 5 wide receiver. Yeah, I mean, I wonder, we'll have a whole nother year of data. This is only the 6th year of Best Ball Mania. I wonder if some of these sort of rules of thumb or structures, if there is more willingness to get some wiggle room, because sometimes we do find these sort of hyper fragile concepts where you don't need a ton of volume. If you hit the right ones and you get injury luck, there is something to be said for, like, well, you just try to hit the nuts, and so many of our teams are dead anyway. You might as well, like, take the swing and not try to account for every single eventuality. So I could definitely see some weird builds becoming, viable when the numbers get rerun. I don't know. I think that's certainly possible. I don't think we've solved this game quite yet as far as optimal structures and build types. Go Easy Cards. If Detroit misses the playoffs, that is a ton of fantasy firepower. Yeah, we all want to see Detroit in the playoffs. I mean, just because they're such a fun team to watch, and for playoff best ball, there's so many good parts. Which team's wide receivers are we going to fade when Kyler Murray gets dealt? Doesn't he feel like a Raider? He feels like such a Raider, and he's just surely he can't ruin Brock Bowers the way he ruined Trey McBride, right? Dear God. 13 of 43 big boards. Hey, congrats, Zeus04. That is fantastic. Good morning. Hope you're having a good one, and I'd be having a great morning if I was advancing 13 of 43 big boards. I'll say that. Parkinson, better pick. He scored yesterday. Our hero, Colby Parkinson. I don't know what the Tyler Higbee status is. I don't know why I thought he was supposed to be coming back soon, but that could just be a waiting for Godot thing, and he never returns. It could just turn the tight end situation into an absolute nightmare. Jake Vinegar, if I just swapped all my QBs for T-Law, I would have all the money. Yeah. All you had to do was draft unstacked T-Law, and you were good. Or T-Law Etienne. That was what you needed. God help you if you took like Travis Hunter or BTJ. BTJ was fine yesterday. I take that back, but he was would have been tough to advance. Losing Mahomes and Devontae was the last straw. I'm cured of my NFL best ball. Well, think of all the free time you'll have this summer, Terrence. I hope you're having a good one. Absolutely brutal run out there. Sucks. You know, I'm a Dolphins fan. I'm not like a huge Chiefs fan, but I absolutely hate seeing Mahomes get hurt. I think the league needs every good quarterback they can get, and it is terrible. It is so terrible when we lose like an elite quarterback like that. It just makes the game so much worse. Like we don't need people like Brosmer playing quarterback. No offense to him. But it's just so tough to watch. There were some dark eras where we did not have many good quarterbacks. So I just hate to see any elite quarterback get hurt. If I skip the slate, I lose way most money. Yeah, but think of all the fun you've had. Go AC Cards. Terrence says going to be more judicious going forward. I don't think that's a bad idea. I think we all could be more judicious. And I could click less Diami Brown. Steven says because next year could be different situations. Maybe 0 RB will work again, as you said. Not enough information to deter. Yeah, I agree, Steven. I think for me, just trying a whole lot of different builds and structures just makes the most sense. I am wholeheartedly agree with you there. Hey, Who Hames, sup fam? Good morning to you, Who Hames. Hope you're having a great one. Appreciate you coming by, hanging out. Chris, keep watching. Yeah, Terrence. Please don't leave. We need you. We need you. More Scatabo. Good God. Yeah, I just hope he's the rehab and everything goes well. I think we're probably gonna have to start. We're gonna probably be drafting the big board before we have like literally any additional information. So I'm very curious to see what Scatabo's ADP is. I'm very interested to see where we are taking him. Like, are we taking him ahead of where we were getting him? Around pick 100? I don't know. I mean, obviously, if he wasn't hurt, we would be taking him way ahead. So how much are we weighing the injury there? Be very curious. Greg says any of the structures work if you draft the right guy. That might be the dirty secret, Greg. It might just be you just need to pick the right players. And we're just arranging deck chairs on the boat, and we just hope the boat is not the Titanic, and it's actually a good boat. I mean, there definitely is the possibility that you just draft the nuts. Just draft the guys that are good. I don't know. But sometimes I don't know. I like to think that some of the structure stuff is very important, but there is the possibility that you just need, you needed to draft Kyle Pitts. It doesn't matter if you did it on a hyper fragile team, on a 4 QB team, on a 3-6-6-3 team, but you needed T-Law and Pitts, and it doesn't matter what else you did. Who knows? Also, I noticed Crutches here. You were also chasing down Mr. Worth. Let's see, oh wow, T-Law, Cook, and it was Woody Marks was the undoing. You got to think if Woody Marks stays healthy, this team might have taken it down. Puka, Michael Wilson. Michael Wilson not 100% drafted. T-Law, what a smash. Unstacked T-Law. Unstacked T-Law in like small field. So pretty sick team here from Crutches. Not lying about being overweight T-Law, by the way. Some proof in the pudding there. All right, let's see. Steven says, I think one problem is we all like the action. We love to draft. I'm going to slow down some, maybe. Yeah, it's easy to say you're going to slow down in December 15th. But when that big board drops, you got to get that CLV. Mitten draft. Yeah, I'm going to fire up a Mitten 1 second. Let me catch up with chat. 27,354 JT teams advance to... So 1,486 survive the weekend. Yeah, I mean, I think having JT going forward might be nice. I do think... I haven't even really looked at the Week 16 slate. Who are they playing? They are playing... Why am I missing that? Why can't I find the Colts? Oh, they're playing the Niners on Monday night. So, man... The CMC versus Jonathan Taylor Monday night matchup. My goodness. My goodness, that could be for that's gonna switch a lot of stuff. So nice. Hopefully we have some sweats on week week 16. That'll be fun. Hopefully it shakes some stuff up. Hey, Night Fiend 47 GM to you. Hope you're having a great morning. Who Aim's got 2 top 5 teams without T-Law. Pretty sick. In I know you do the Wildcat Who, but yeah, that is awesome. That is awesome. All right. Let's see. Are any of the dailies open? I'm just curious. I'll do a Mitten regardless, but I'm just a little surprised that the daily stuff's not out. All right, I'm going to try to hop into a Mitten, assuming it says I'm not in developer mode. Ooh, snap fell. All right. Well, hopefully some of you got in. Oh, engage 8 in Deposit Kingdom. Nice. Nice. Deposit Kingdom, such a good contest. Y'all should definitely, if you're doing this or getting your feet wet, or you play 150 battle royales, you should max the Deposit Kingdom. Yeah, I agree, Joel. Congrats to you, Hames. That's awesome. But yeah, engage 8 max tournament, Deposit Kingdom, 3 max. That's, those things definitely help with the sustainability. So it looks like we got Go Easy cards in the room, and I don't think I see anyone else. So we'll see what Go Easy cards does. He's not always the most fun to sit next to. He likes to snipe us. That's not actually true. Go Easy cards is a very pleasant seat. That's seat mate neighbor, I guess you'd say. Chris got a team with JT Ladd and Rashi Rice through. None of them hit the lineup. Yeah, there you go. There you go. I mean, Rashi Rice with Minshew. I mean, there's a world where Minshew just hyper targets Rashi Rice. I mean, I think it's possible. I'm not going to be like the idiot who says this is good for Rice. I don't think that's a very smart take. But I do think there's a chance that, we've seen these backup quarterbacks able to support one alpha receiver. I could definitely see that coming. We know Minshew's not going to be afraid to chuck it, which is good. Sometimes you get these backup quarterbacks that are younger and they kind of have their reins on them. Minshew's, we don't have that risk. They're going to go for it. Talk out loud all your You know what, Go Easy Cards? This isn't like a BBM. Like, I kind of want everyone to know what I'm doing so they stay in their lane. I'm not trying to have some secret play. It's going to be very obvious what I'm doing. In VBM, sometimes you're like, "Ooh, I have this sleeper, or I'm trying to build this backstack." All right, so let's see. What do we want to do here? I think I'm gonna try to lay claim to the Eagles, but we'll see if this works. At the very least, we will have the non-Jalen Hurts teams if Hurts doesn't come back to us. And we could build on the AFC side quarterback if we have to and see what happens. So we'll take Saquon, A.J. Brown. This starts off with Josh Allen, JSN, CMC, and Cook. Go Easy Cards goes Cook and Drake May there. So lays a little bit of claim into the Patriots side of things. Steven asking, Who Ames, you're going to stream this week? I might not watch it live, but I do look later and enjoy the show. Yeah, Who Ames has some awesome stuff on his channel. During the year, does game-by-game breakouts with Steve from Fanspeak. Really worthwhile show there. Go very in-depth. Two ball knowers chopping it up. So I would absolutely recommend subscribing to Who Ames, as well as Fanspeak as well. They do great stuff. And Who Ames asking, how did you like Arrowhead? I'll say Who Ames, I went to Arrowhead about 20 years ago, and it was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool stadium. I really liked it. I'm sure it's changed quite a bit then, because I think they did some level of renovation on the interior. But I thought it was a pretty cool viewing experience. Thomas Awad, GM. Hey, hope you're having a great one. Oh my God, what is this one hole doing? Well, the one hole goes Allen, Henderson, and Hurts. So there you go. Takes all kinds. Go Easy Cards wanted Cook and Barkley. Well, none of us got what we wanted. Go Easy Cards had fun at the game. So Etienne goes, Nico goes. So this is unfortunate. Houston and Jacksonville, 2 pieces you used to be able to get in the 30s. And now we have both of them going off here. So it's getting a little thinner than we might like. The one good thing is this Flybird fly, so he's going Niners and currently the Lions. So let's see what Go AZ Cards does here. What does he do? He takes Devontae Adams. So I'm going to grab the last helicopter out of Saigon. I'm going to take Harvey Nicks and try to lock up the Denver stuff, because Denver, the AFC side is grim. Allen's gone, May's gone. I don't love T-Law without Etienne, and I don't really love Stroud without Nico. And then we're down to pretty much the Chargers or your AFC North du jour, whether you want to make that the Steelers or the Ravens. A little bit risky there. I don't mind taking those guys because they're going to be low owned, and one of them's going to be completely dead, so people are reluctant to do it. That said, the Mitten's going to be open long enough to where if it is the Steelers, they're still going to be free. So I don't think you get an edge. Maybe the Ravens are worth taking now if you think they're going to get it, because they'll get more expensive. Lamar will become very expensive. So I would say if you're trying to backstack them, this is the time of the season to do it. And if the team's dead, the team's dead. You just have to be willing to accept that. So far we've got Nicks, Saquon, Harvey, and AJ Brown. The one hole continues to do stupid things. Adds Sutton and AJ and Amon-Ra. So they just have a hodgepodge of players. Teams like this really have no hope of winning the contest. They just make every other team worse in the pod. So not great to see. I'm not trying to be mean. It's just the truth. They have one player from 5 teams through 5 rounds. So we will not get Sutton on this crew. We'll see what comes to us from Montre goes. I think I'll take Devonta Smith, so then we'll have 3 Eagles there. And then what do we want to do as far as other options here? I think I'll do Devonta and Hampton, and then we'll try to grab Herbert. But this way, we've got a pretty beefy Eagles stack. We just don't have the quarterback, which is fine because we're just going to play it through the AFC side. So hopefully we do get Herbert. He goes pretty late, but you never know. I mean, people can double-click Herbert Ladd or whatnot. And, we have one player with no quarterback at all. It does seem like he is probably just going to take T-Law. He's also live to take Darnold. So he's got some natural stuff. I don't think we have to worry about Ragnar. We just have to worry about someone else taking their second quarterback here. I'll keep the board up so people can see what's going on. Christian Watson, I don't know the severity of the injury. The Packers, to me, got a whole heck of a lot worse with the loss of Micah Parsons. I feel this guy just takes Jaden Reed. He's literally has one player from 7 teams at this point in the one hole. Don't do this, guys. You don't even get your money back for min cashing in the Mitten. So it's just bad. It's just so bad. All right, let's see. Adams injury, time to get the Rams super playoff stack. Yeah. I like the Rams stuff. My problem with the Rams is I know there's teams that did get the super stack. Hold on, let me make my picks here. Let me do Ladd and Herbert now. I don't want to lose that. Denver has a lot of random receivers we can grab. So I'd rather just lock this up here. So we've got Nicks, Herbert, Saquon, Harvey, Omari, and Hampton, and then AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, Ladd, McConkey. We've got 2 picks left. There'll be at least one Denver receiver, and then we'll see what we do with the last pick. But I think this team is coherent. Makes sense. Do I think the Chargers are going to make the Super Bowl? No, but I don't mind having another live Super Bowl. There's also the chance that the Broncos get the bye, so we do need we do need to account for that. I do still think it's going to be the Patriots, but I think the Denver is still in the fight for that. But yeah, go easy cards. I know there's some teams that have like the Stafford, Puka, Kyron, Devontae Adams teams, which feels tough if that's who you need to like go to the conference finals and the Super Bowl like without it. That's the only thing that like makes me leery. I know that's not the best reason to not go for it because those teams could be flawed in other ways, but it does seem like there's some Rams super stacks out there. Steven says, good, but Chad, I'm glad I found you. Hey, I'm glad you're hanging out here, Steven. Also, by the way, I realize I haven't asked if people can like and subscribe. That helps a ton. I truly appreciate that if you can do that, because I know if I don't ask for likes, they don't always come super easily, but it does truly help us out. All right, let's take Troy Franklin here. That'll get us our third Bronco. And then what do we want to do? So if I look at my Chargers, QJ, Keenan, Gadsden, Vidal. If I look at my Broncos, Franklin, Pat Bryant, Ingram, Mims, little Jordan Humphrey. Man. Couldn't you just see a world where it's like little Jordan Humphrey is who you need? I don't know if I want to live in that world, but I do feel like that world could exist. I also see a world. I'm going to take Hampton and Vidal. This might be too thin at wide receiver, but honestly, we need the Eagles side. And so I feel like with AJ Brown, Devonta, Ladd, two of these three, I want them hitting my lineup. I could see Vidal getting there. I could even see a world where in the conference finals or even Super Bowl, Hampton and Vidal are what you need. So we'll try something weird. Maybe I should have taken another receiver because you can only play two, but we're going to try something. Vidal's going to be low owned. Again, that was a dart throw either way at receiver or with Vidal. I'd be interested to see what y'all think. This is the kind of place where something like the sidekick could definitely help run through some of those permutations. Chris says, who had Aiden Hutchinson for longest catch of the day? Certainly not me, Chris. Certainly not I. William says, go easy cards. I've always had a good... Yeah, you have to. If you're not having a good time, there are much better ways to try to earn funds. Chris says, is Ragnar a sidekick sub? That's a very sidekick. I do not know. But it does feel a little sidekicky, perhaps. It's a very coherent team that Ragnar built here. I mean, really just a pure Jags and Seahawks stack with one Ram in Colby Parkinson there. So, or excuse me, I guess they have Kyron and Parkinson. So they have two Jags Super Bowls there. And they no, they don't have enough Seahawks to just do a Seahawks only side. So Zeus says, from a real football standpoint, investing in T-Law to win important games feels terrible. Yes, I agree there, Zeus. But he randomly spikes in DFS stuff. Go easy cards did not like this room. Let's see what you ended up with. Cook, Drake May, Devontae Adams, Steph Diggs, Ramondre, Shakir, Booty, Kincaid, Evans, and Godwin. I think this is fine. The only problem is if the Pats get the bye, you're dead because he's your only quarterback. That's my hesitation with this team. I feel like I would have taken Baker at pick 56, but I also don't know if that's correct, and just had like Baker, Evans, Skinny, and then just play it through the Pats. I don't know. But I guess, again, I guess you're playing that the Pats don't get the bye, and if they do, then the team's dead, and then that's fine if you're playing a lot of these. Packers legit might not make the playoffs. They might not win another game. I mean, that's possible. That is definitely possible. They're leaking oil big time. Jake says Broncos have a game lead in the tiebreaker. I would play as if it's Denver getting the bye. Okay. There you go. I don't think I realized I had the tiebreaker with the Pats. I don't know why I thought the Pats had that. Denver just feels like one of the more fraudulent 1 seeds we've seen in a while. But they're, yeah. I guess that, makes me more glad I loaded up on the Charger side rather than taking an additional Bronco there. I think 3 Broncos, if they're getting the bye, is probably enough. Go Easy Cards had great seats, 10-yard line, 5 rows up. That's awesome. That is so fun. T-Law did win a college championship. Might recapture the winning spirit. I mean, we were all pretty darn high. At least I was on T-Law coming into this thing. It just hasn't. He did have a bad run out of coaches and coordinators early in his career. Those excuses are running out, but he's been getting better this year. I definitely feel like Cohen is maximizing what they can get out of him. Who AMC? AFC feels like everyone's live. Yeah, I agree. Broncos are better than everyone acts like they are. It only feels thin because Bo is hot and cold. Yep. You know what, Joel? I was trying to. I knew there was a fake 1 seed, and that was what it was. It was the Titans. I couldn't remember who it was, but that was who was coming to mind. So thank you. I don't think they're more fraudulent than that team. I think we all knew that team was a bit of vaporware. He always heats up at end of games like Mahomes. Honestly, yeah. I'll never forget that Broncos Giants game where they had like no points in the 4th quarter, and then they scored like 31 points. Chris says fraudulent. The 2021 Titans holding on line 1 for the. There you go. People were able to dial that one up quicker than me, but I knew there was one super fake team. All right, let's hop in another Mitten. Everything else is not launching. Oh, I'm not in developer mode. All right, I got to do it on my phone. Hold on. I hit refresh one too many times, and now I'm paying the price. But I'm gonna hop into a Mitten on my phone here. If anyone wants to get in, we are waiting for 3. Waiting for 3 in the Mitten. Apologies if you're in any kind of under or overflow. But now we are live once again. I failed to update the timestamp again, but I'm going to try. Hold on. I'll just say it started around 30. Mitten 1. All right, we're off and running. I've got the 5-hole and 43 minutes. Excuse me. Mitten 2. All right, sweet. All right, so we've got Mr. Worth in here. Excuse me, Mr. Vinegar here. We've got Mr. Worth at the 3. We've got our friend Law at the 4. Myself at 5, and Biff Tannen there at the 6. So we'll see what we can conjure up here from the 5-hole. 5-hole can be a little wonky. I think a lot of the times the drafter at 5 is really, or 6 often, is hoping for Cook Saquon. Cook Saquon is a fun start because very often it gives you access to Buffalo, so you can potentially build that on the AFC side. And then NFC quarterbacks, if you take Saquon, you could build the Eagles stuff out kind of nicely. Usually you can get Hurts to come back to you. Not always, but typically. So you can build that little flow very nicely. The problem is the 6-hole sometimes has other plans, and then you're kind of audibling at the last minute. So we'll see what happens. We will see what the room gives to us here. Again, these stream drafts, they can be a little hit or miss. Sometimes everyone stays in their lane. Other times everyone is kind of in alignment on who they like, on who their back stacks are. You can kind of be fighting over the same team. So we'll see what we get here. We got CMC at the 1, Puka at the 2. Allen goes 3. Let's see what Law does here. He takes JSN. Okay, so we'll try. We'll see. We'll take Cook. Cook, who I like regardless, whether or not we do the Eagles stuff The only problem now is if you don't get the Eagles, I'm a lot lower on the Packers stuff than I was. It used to be very nice. You could take Jacobs here, and then you could kind of wait on the Green Bay stuff. I think that's kind of gone with the Packers really feeling thin now to, as someone noted, even make it. So we will see. We will see. All right. So Saquon goes. So that's out the window now. Saquon, Travion. So what do we want? What do we want to do? What do we want to do? I'm going to take Shakir here. I don't really want to commit to fighting for Rams that much. I don't want the Packers. So I'm going to grab Shakir there. So we're going to have at least 2 Buffalo pieces. And then let's see what the room gives to us. So we're going to punt off this decision. It could be bad. But we'll grab that and then see what happens. Greg says, needed those Engram over the middle targets while Jacoby is making T-Law look like a QB. Those Engram over the middle. Oh, yeah, Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers has been a big addition. I mean, he's really been huge for them. But yeah, Engram. I was also really into Brenton Strange on the sort of same theorem. He was hurt most of the year. I thought he was a great pick. He's been a little up and down since he's come back. Had a touchdown called back last week, so his stuff could be looking a little better than it was, but was kind of quiet on this T-Law eruption day, which was a little disappointing. Yeah, pump fake in the pre. You gotta have a good pump fake. Chris made it. Yes, Thomas Awad famously is law in here. Chris at the Chris, you're at the 2. None of you bit. I don't know why I have trouble attaching your name with none of your business, but all right. So this is a true friends and family room. Flip the board. I mean, as long as you build coherent stacks, I think you can pretty much do what you want. I think ADP is a little overblown when you're building less popular stacks. Like if you wait, sometimes they get taken. There's not really a huge advantage. All right, so there goes Stafford. Jacobs is still here. People are kind of scared of that. Let's grab. We're not going to grab anything just yet. We'll grab Kincaid here. So we're going to take three Bills and then figure out quarterback here. We kind of gave Biff Tannen a little bit of a gift. I could have potentially taken Hurts and hoped he passed on Devonta, but then if he took Devonta, then I'm kind of in trouble. I had an idea, and now I can't even remember what it was. What was I gonna do? Yikes! Shoot, I'm running out of time here. This is embarrassing. Shoot. Oh my god! All right. I just watched everything fall apart. All right, this is a Packer team. I think I wanted to do some Bears stuff, but then I didn't want to wait all the way to the end. I didn't want to start grabbing Bears, and then I was trying to think of what other Buffalo pieces I wanted. This was bad. I am embarrassed. Like a kid losing at Monopoly. Yeah, I'm exiting the draft, guys. We took Josh Jacobs. Dear God. Well, maybe they're gonna have to throw more. If their defense is bad, we're gonna spin it. We're gonna spin this that this is actually good for the Green Bay Packers. So that was a low moment on stream. I kind of dithered as far as what I wanted to do on the NFC side, despite only 2 quarterbacks being gone. I thought about taking Ken Walker and and Darnold, but that's not a whole heck of a lot of fun. So I think we're gonna have to play this through the Packers after we got ADP value on Josh Jacobs, who's going to fall like an absolute stone here. I just don't know. Is Christian Watson like donezo? They're calling it a chest injury. Well, let's grab. I don't know why this guy would take. You know what? Let's just take Jordan Love just in case, and then we'll take Jaden Reed. I don't think Biff Tannen would have any reason to take Reed. That wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. But Watson's supposed to be okay. Okay, well, maybe we'll take Watson then. Let's just do that. If Watson's okay, we'll grab him. Again, possibility Reed comes back to us. I don't think people are very high on the Packers. So we got Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs, Christian Watson. On the AFC side, we've got Cook, Shakir, and Kincaid. And then I think my plan is if Reed comes back, we'll take Reed. And then we'll try to take some of the... we'll try to take some Bears. If anyone wants to take Bears and take that from me, that's fine. But I'll tell all of you what the plan currently is. We could play it as Love as our only quarterback as well, but we'll see. Watson was an AC joint, I think. Okay. Well, getting conflicting reports, but hopefully he's okay regardless of what it is. Yeah. Yeah, it is tough. It is tough in these drafts if you don't have a good plan on the NFC. I don't know. These playoff drafts are very difficult. Just read that on Twitter, says Who Ames. Okay. Gotcha. All right, so let's see. We'll go over everyone's teams at the end, but Mr. Vinegar here, he's pretty much sticking with Denver and the Niners with a smattering of Texans. Chris Burkle playing things through the Pats side, Pats, Rams. So looks like mostly Pats with some different just sprinkling of guys on the NFC side. J-Dubs, he's got the Goff, Amon-Ra, Gibbs, J-Mo. So, I mean, again, I like getting this on the Lions side, because if the Lions make it, it's going to be tough to get that along with like a Josh Allen and Kyron. So, I didn't even know I was up. Oh my God. Well, we took Jaden Reed. Dear God, I'm losing it on this Monday here. So let's see what Biff Tannen does. So we've got Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs, Christian Watson, and Jaden Reed. So we've got four Packers, 3 Bills. So Packers-Bills Super Bowl is kind of the dream scenario. The other option for me is I could play it through the Bucks, because the Bucks stuff can be cheap. But let's just grab Swift. I think the Bears stuff is going to be even less popular. Swift could be a fine advance rate piece as well, assuming the Bears still get in, which I think they will. Hey, Beastburf, GM to you. I apologize. This draft has gotten away from me, but we're trying our best here. We're trying our best. I was not planning on doing Packers stuff, but here we are. Twitter lies sometimes. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Who Hames? Not always the best source of information. So you see JT Vinegar over there. He takes Bucky. Some of the Buck stuff being this late. This kind of like Bucky, Evans, and whomever else you get. It's kind of nice to get an 8, 9, 10. They've been down. They're kind of much maligned. But, you know, the playoffs don't start for a few weeks. There is time to get right over there. All right, let's see. I'll just take Caleb here. We'll grab Caleb, and then we will grab our favorite pass catcher attached to it. And who is that? Who is our favorite pass catcher? Is it Odunze? Is it Moore? Is it Burden? Is it Loveland? Dear God, this is tough. This is actually kind of tough having to only pick one. DJ Moore had a great game last game. Romo Dunze's dealing with this foot stuff. Luther Burden is not what we all hoped and dreams of. I feel like if I go to this Super Bowl, do I really want it like 2 tight ends and Shakir in my wide receiver room? Probably not. Dunze foot stuff just like freaks me out. That late scratch, it doesn't seem like something that might actually get worse. Let's take DJ Moore. Sometimes these veterans can come alive in the playoffs, give us one last ride. So kind of a weird team. You might call it a bad team, but this team ends up being Jordan Love, Caleb Williams, and then James Cook, Josh Jacobs, DeAndre Swift, Khalil Shakir, Dalton Kincaid, Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, and DJ Moore. So again, not the most popular stacks with Green Bay and Chicago, but should be a little bit lower owned of a group. We'll go over the other people in the room's teams once they wrap up. I think if I try to do this, it's going to swap who it shows. Daxton Jart, I impressed myself this weekend. Cashed 1 of 50 goal line stands, 0 Trevor, 1 Etienne team that also had McBride. Yeah. That is tough. There were pieces you absolutely needed. There were absolutely some. Like, if you didn't have McBride or Etienne, yeah, exactly what you said. You're going to have a bad time because they just separated so much. Hey, GM Hartman, hope you're having a great one. This draft was a cluster. I agree, Chris. I agree. Go easy cards. This is a Rams window before the Adams injury is positive news. That's possible. That's definitely possible. I mean, 3 weeks for a hamstring is usually enough. That said, it was a re-injury, which is a little scary. A little scary, Go easy cards. I'm definitely leery. But let's see what our friends did. All right, JT Vinegar, Nixon Purdy, CMC Harvey, Bucky, Kittle, Nico, Sutton, Evans, and Schultz. So gets 2 Bucks, gets 2 Texans. It has Nixon Purdy as his quarterbacks. Yeah, I like Purdy, CMC, Kittle. I think that's a perfectly fine place to stop if you're not going to get a 4th there with San Francisco. And then Denver gets Nix, Harvey, Sutton. Same thing. Really grabbing the key pieces on those 2 teams. So I like that. I like the team that Mr. Vinegar put together. Let's see what Chris Burkle put together. So 1 quarterback team: Drake May, Ken Walker, Hampton, Ramondre, Puka, AJ Brown, Steph Diggs, Booty, Rashid Shaheed, Emeka Egbuka. So he's got 4 Patriots, and then mostly a whole bunch of players on the NFC side to fill out the roster. Some potentially big advance rate pieces: Puka, AJ Brown, Walker. Hampton is clearly purely an advance rate guy, but that could be kind of fun if he gets more and more ramped up. So I like the team there. Chris, Mr. Worth, what'd you do? Allen and Goff, Kyron, Jahmyr Gibbs, Ray Davis, Amon-Ra, J-Mo, Coleman, Parkinson, Strange. So definitely some low-owned stuff. Strange, interesting pick there as a one-off. And then Colby Parkinson. So I can't say this is something I would get to with the 4 Lions plus Brenton Strange, but you never know. I mean, Detroit's defense, not very good. You never know. It could be the Brenton Strange game. So I like the team. I like what you did on the Detroit side. Then what did Law do? Stafford and T-Law, Etienne, and Blake Corum. So a little thinner at running back, but definitely going to be relying on Etienne as sort of the workhorse here. JSN, Devontae, BTJ, Jacobs, Franklin, and Tutu Atwell. So a lot more wide receiver firepower. You only have to play 1 running back, so I don't mind this that much. And of course, Corum apparently can become lightning in a bottle. So fun draft, everyone. Kind of a tough room. Beastburf, kind of crazy. The main BR didn't have Lawrence. Yeah, he was only around 10% owned. And I guess if you hit with like McBride and I wonder who the quarterback was. I'm assuming it was like Josh Allen. I'll pull it up. Chris says my team cannot win the whole thing. That's for sure. You can though. You can. All right, let's see. BR. My best BR team before we go. 121st place. Stafford, Cook, Harvey, Puka, Amon-Ra, Trey, McBride. So Harvey he was a scroll. He's where this thing foundered, but we made a little bit of a run at it. Getting in the top 100 is kind of, one of the goals each week. We got close, came up a little short. James Berry, Goff, Etienne, Henderson, Puka, Amon-Ra, Trey McBride. Yeah, just mini game stack here with Puka, Amon-Ra, and you were halfway home. So, and of course, Goff to Amon-Ra. Yeah, so no T-Law. Was this the same team every time that split second through fourth? Stafford, Etienne, Henderson, Puka, Amon-Ra, McBride. So the difference in the last team was Stafford instead of Goff. Is that what happened? Looks like it. All right, so there you go. You just scroll down a little with Goff. Goff at 17% versus Stafford at 89%, and that ships you the main BR. So congrats to James Berry. The power of the scroll. Power of the scroll. Go Easy Cards. What's the current GM start? Alan Cook or Puka, Adams, Kyron? I think it's Alan Cook. I don't have any Alan Cook teams, but I would be very excited if I was able to get one. And you have to think it's going to happen because some people don't want to fight over teams. And so if you get someone that's just like, I don't want to fight over the Bills scraps, Cook might slip. To me, that's the big GM. Chris said somebody would show up with those 4 Pats and have 2 to 3 on the other side of the Super Bowl. Yeah. That's the tough part. It's just thinking through the teams that you're going to run into when you try to cover a lot of bases and then you show up and you're like, okay, I got my five-man Super Bowl. There's a pretty good chance there's going to be like a 6 or 7 person version that has you covered. Jets Drop Bombs jumping in late. GM. Hey, appreciate you, Jets Drop Bombs. We'll do 1 or 2 more mittens and then we'll should probably just 1 more mitten and then we'll get on out of here. We'll see if we have time for a second. I know Pete's going live at 10. Oh, I'm not in developer mode. I promise. You guys know this is not a developer channel. This is a draft Green Bay Packers. Waiting for 3 in the mitten. Waiting for 2. This is a drafted team. You said you don't want a draft channel because you let the clock run out. All right, let me update the timestamp. Also a good time. If you can, please like and sub. We're getting close to 400 subs. We were at 357 this morning. Would be thrilled if we're above that now. But we'll see. Just happy that you're all willing to hang out, have some fun, draft some teams, talk a little football as we all sweat our teams advancing tonight. All right. Let's see. We're in the 3 hole. We got Mr. Worth at the 1. We got J Dubs and J Dubs. I don't know. Is there collusion? You gotta wonder. And then we got JT Binniger and JT Kookie. What is this room? What have I landed in? Why does everyone's name start with J except for mine? I don't know. 1 Alan Cook, Shakir Kincaid from earlier playoff draft. Yeah, that's a sick team. That is a sick team there. You boys play too rough. I'm not joining another stream. You're always welcome, Chris. They're not all like that. Today. Okay, there we go. Holy JT and J Dub. I know. 2 J Dubs? What are the odds? I expect this in a Buster's Boys room, but not here. Maybe he was supposed to be here. Maybe Beastburf, you're right. I'm not supposed to be here. We all know who's supposed to be in the 3 hole. All right, Josh Allen goes, my truth serum is I want CMC over JSN. I just... JSN's fine. And this is probably going to sound, no one's ever clipped anything. I'm not like a channel big enough to get clipped, but I have a tough time seeing Sam Darnold leading a team to the Super Bowl. It's very hard for me to take JSN with my first pick. Go Easy Cards. All I want for Christmas is one BBM Finals team. I would be so happy to get one BBM Finals team. Even if it's my Malik Neighbors team that may or may not advance. I will carry him into the finals. All right. Thomas Awad says CMC over JSN for sure. Yeah, I don't know. And it's also slightly easier to build the Niners stuff. I don't know. That's just my my feeling on that. All right, let's see. What do we want to do? What's J Dubs with a Z doing here? Let me pull up the board. He goes Shakir. I think I prefer to just grab Travion on this side of the universe. Try to get a couple. CMC Travion feels like a nice start. Obviously, we're not going to get Drake May on this team, but that's okay. We're going to try to get a Purdy team. All right, so we took Travion. Now the question is, do we take Diggs and push Kittle? I don't think so. I think Kittle's more important to this team. So let's go CMC Kittle. We should be able to get Purdy and then figure out what else we want to do in the ideal world. Goods. Hey, GM to you, Goods. Hope you're having a great one. Got a CMC JSN combo. CMC JSN. Oh, that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. I have not had that happen. Yeah, I'm not too big on Seattle, says Beastperf. They don't feel like real contenders. Yeah, I don't either. I don't want like none of it, but for right now, I think just the ease of it, knowing that also, you know, the Niners defense is kind of bad, so they are more likely to be in like better game scripts. We've seen Seattle's defense kind of like carry them through some games, so I don't know. Chris says, Go Easy Cards is my third year. I've had 0 BBM finals. Amari Cooper ruined my best chance. Well, you're expected to make it once every 8 years, Chris. That's the sad reality. So it is absolutely killer to get a team through. Jets Drop Bombs need a huge night from Achan to advance my one BBM team. Best of luck, Jets Drop Bombs. I think a big Achan night is bad for me, but I'm not positive. I don't think I have a lot of Achans. I'm just assuming it's not good. That'd be an excellent Christmas gift. I do know there's a lot of people relying on Achan, though. Hartman, have you considered making a Chad Candles underdog? Yeah, Chad Candles. Yeah, J-Dubs. What's going on here? And numbers 0518 versus 1035. I don't know. How many J-Dubs are there? People are starting to wonder. Okay, so we've got... do we just take Purdy and not risk it? Is that being cowardly? I mean, weirdly, I don't know. Let's see what fake J-Dubs does. He takes Kincaid. Did we just grab RJ Harvey here? Is that too fancy? Let's take RJ Harvey. I don't know. This could be bad. I don't have a sidekick to tell me what to do. So I have to, you know, make some of these decisions. CMC, Henderson, Harvey. You know, the tough part about this is only 2 can play. So from like a getting out of your pod perspective, this is dicey. But I didn't really think Harvey would be there. So let's see. Let's see what J-Dubs does. He's taking Jacksonville stuff. I like the Jacksonville stuff quite a bit. But yeah, we're like as Chris says, no risk it, no biscuit. Yeah, we're gonna risk it here. Jet says, did Seahawks feeling change if they beat the Rams next week? Honestly, no. But we'll see. All right, let's take Sutton. Let's take Sutton here. We're risking it for all kinds of biscuits here. but I think this is fine. Getting Harvey and Sutton feels kind of nice opposite this Niners situation we've got. So we'll pull the board up. We'll see what happens. Again, we're risking it for some biscuits here. Joel will be suing the J-Dubs clown for copyright infringement. Yeah, I mean, you've got to put an end to this immediately. So JT Kookie, he takes Darnold possibly early. I feel like we've seen another drafter in the last room kind of push Darnold to later, and I feel like that's right. Like once you have JSN and Ken Walker, are people really just ripping unstacked Darnold? I don't know. I think I would have been willing to push that, but that's just one man's opinion here. JT Binniger's got some nice stuff going with his Eagles stuff. Let's see what fake J-Dubs does. He takes Devonta Smith. Man, what is more important? I mean, Knicks is kind of nice now that we have this. All right, let's take Knicks here. Let's grab Knicks. We got Knicks, Harvey, and Sutton. We'll see. We'll see what happens. T-Law goes... Okay. Okay. This is fine. This is fine. So we got CMC, Henderson, Kittle, Harvey, Sutton, Knicks. And then Omari and Hampton goes. Reed goes. I think we just take Juwan Jennings here. We'll take Juwan Jennings. If Purdy comes back to us, that's great. If not, worst case is we have a bunch of Niners opposite Knicks, and then we'll figure something out if we don't get Purdy. At this point, with Jennings, Kittle off the board, someone taking Purdy would be odd, but you never know. People do just take a second quarterback regardless sometimes. So we're going to risk it again. But I think just looking at the board, fake J-Dubs just rips off Purdy for no effing reason. That's a little annoying. I thought maybe they would take Stroud because they have Nico. So we are going to have to take another random quarterback because Knicks now does seem likely to get the bye. So should I have just taken Purdy there? Maybe. I think risking it was worth it to try to build a Super Niners stack. But now we're going to have to figure something else on the AFC side of the world, or at least some kind of advance rate piece. What are our options? Love, Stroud, Herbert, Lamar, Goff, Caleb, Baker. All right. We're now a little bit in just advance mode, I guess, as far as our quarterback. So someone like Baker, who we know is going to play a game, or at least we hope he does. So let's do that. Let's take Baker, and then we'll try to do something like Evans and or did I already miss that? Oh, I already missed Evans, huh? Cool. All right. Well, we would have done that different if I'd been paying more attention. Oh no, we didn't miss Evans. He just got ripped by the drafter right after me. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We call this having things get away from you, people. We call this not great in the business. Did this guy even have Bucky? He did have Bucky. Okay, so I can't be too mad. I can't be too mad at him. All right, we'll take Igbuka here. We were very close to having a pretty awesome team, I feel like, if we had gotten Purdy and Jennings. But alas, we now... And again, I don't even know if Baker was right. I probably should have just taken Herbert because then we would have had another Niners Super Bowl. Now it has to be Niners, Denver. So maybe that was a mistake. That said, I really don't think I don't know if I buy the Chargers Super Bowl all that much. So we'll see. Not the best draft we've ever done. I feel like the wheels came off. We were pretty close to a good one, though. Jets drop bombs. Green Bay just took the 12-2 AFC number 1 seed to the very end in a true road game. They feel like a team to beat. Parsons injury just adds. The Parsons injury to me it feels pretty huge. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just did draft a Green Bay team, so maybe taking them completely off the board is wrong. Fake J-Dubs ripping everyone's. Fake J-Dubs is a menace. Fake J-Dubs is an absolute animal here. Just doing whatever. I mean, just taking Purdy and nothing after is such a kick in the nuts, especially because they take Woody Marks here. Like, why is this not Stroud? This team is so much better with Stroud. Like, it actually makes sense. Whatever. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Yeah, I think we take Franklin if fake J-Dubs doesn't take him here. I mean, I would also not be opposed if you took your favorite, Little Jordan, Evan Ingram, Pat Bryant here for some leverage. That said, I do think Franklin is the most spike weeky. I mean, you could make an argument that Mims is, but I think Franklin's kind of like taken the job. So this team is CMC, Travion Henderson, George Kittle, RJ Harvey, Cortland Sutton, Bo Nix, Juwan Jennings, Baker Mayfield, Emeka Egbuka, Troy Franklin. Baker Egbuka purely to try to get us out of the first round with a quarterback who's playing. Again, you could argue maybe Franklin should have been someone like a Chris Godwin or someone else who's going to be playing in round 1 because we'll have 4 guys on bye. But, CMC, Henderson, Kittle, we're hoping that's enough firepower to get us through along with Baker and whoever he brings along. So we will see. Yeah, 49ers, Broncos, we're in business. We're in business. Go easy, cards. Not a mistake when you have 3 possible first-round buys. Yeah, it's very hard to navigate these rooms when you have that. Chris says, hard to remember in the heat of the moment because we want guys like that in our contest, if not. No, I agree with you, Chris, when it comes to like BBM or big board. But in playoff best ball, it really just makes your team worse. I don't think I agree with the like you want the bad drafter in your room in playoff best ball. I totally agree in like BBM. Like if someone takes your stack in BBM, like we've found how many times unstacked QB gets there. In this format, like I do think it's just having the wild card who's just like doesn't know what they're doing is a net negative. Yeah. We want him in our contest, not our draft. Yes. Yeah. Because this person like torpedoed other people in their pod. And by people, I mean me. Fake J-Dubs is a national embarrassment. Yeah, you gotta get that attorney on the line and get this situation sorted out. All right, JT Vinegar, how'd you end up with? Saquon, May, AJ Brown. Here, let me pull it up this way. It's easier to see. Real J-Dubs, Stafford, T-Law, Etienne, Hampton, Henry, Puka, Devontae Adams, BTJ, Ladd, and Flowers. So you get the Puka, Adams, and Stafford connection there. That's pretty nice. Some Baltimore stuff that could become more expensive. Kind of a fun team there. From J-Dubs and JT Vinegar, Drake May and Caleb, Saquon, Ramondre, and Swift, AJ Brown, Steph Diggs, Goddard, Henry, DJ Moore. Yeah, team makes a lot of sense. Well, that was a lot of fun, other than getting sniped. Best of luck to everyone tonight. I'll hop on out of here. I know Pete goes on in about 10 minutes, so definitely make sure to go over to Pete's stream there. RM Covers asking, isn't Devontae Adams done for the season? Coach said it was bad. RM Covers, I am nervous about it. being that it was a re-injury, these things can really take a while to heal. So I don't think we know yet, but I am I'll go as far as to say he's kind of off my board right now. I'm very nervous about that. That said, if we are going to draft a lot of teams that are dead. So if you're willing to take him, I don't think we're getting the discount yet. I don't think we're getting any kind of Adams discount. So I have some serious concerns myself. But everyone, this was a ton of fun. If you can, drop a like, drop a sub. Trying to get to 400 subs. That'd be awesome. We'll keep on ripping these. Hopefully they have some dailies open. We can go over the final advance rates into week 16 tomorrow. But that said, everyone, have a wonderful day. I'll see you all in the BR and Mitten streets. Take care, everyone.